Hello everyone. Thank you for watching. Today I have a minimal kitchen tour for you. Not everyone would consider this to be minimalist, but I find this is what is functional and works for our family of 4 without being overwhelming. I do love to cook a lot, not so much baking, but I cook quite often, and yeah, this is what we have. So without further ado, let's get into it. The only things that live on the counters are my utensil crock right here, which has, ladle, spatula, wooden spoon, slotted spoon, spatula spoon, tongs, and then cutting boards. We have 3 cutting boards. We don't need 3 cutting boards. Honestly, 2 would be fine. My husband likes the wood cutting board. I do not. I like dishwasherable things. So we have a medium-sized plastic one, and then we actually have a small one which is currently in the dishwasher, but he likes using the wood and he takes care of it and oils it up and stuff. And then to the right of our microwave here we have spices and baking stuff and Tupperware. So you can see from my spices that I have quite a good amount. There's a few more in my pantry actually. This is butter that we keep at room temperature, 2 measuring cups, and then behind that is some baking stuff. Yeah, it's dirty. And then cooking spray. And then up here is our Tupperware that is not currently being used. And then in that basket right here are some lids and then a few small Tupperware that we use for little tiny things, chopped up fruits and vegetables, etc. Now we'll move down below to the right of the stove. Let's do this drawer first. The drawer looks kind of crazy right now. I've got wax paper, tin foil, plastic wrap, gallon Ziploc bags, quart, and snack or sandwich. I did buy reusable Ziploc bags, so I plan to use these up and then only have the 2 sizes because we just have reusable ones and Tupperware. So then I have trivets here. I have 4. These are extra dish towels. I have 1 in here. There's 1 in the washing machine currently, and then the 1 on the oven. I have a pair of oven mitts, and then this is usually pretty full right here, but it's rags that we use to wipe the kids down after they eat food. Okay, under the oven we have pots and pans. I have 3 pots, so we have small, medium, and large, and then I have 2 skillets, like saucepan things. And then up above here is a little set of silicone lids from IKEA, which we use for everything. I use them to cover up my saucepans. And then the lid to this pot actually broke on us, and rather than replace it, I've just been using the silicone lid, and it works. It's fine. Down the road we might, but it's doable for now, and it hasn't really been bothering me. So and then this is an unnecessary kitchen gadget, but this is my panini press. I worked at a sandwich shop for about 8 years and developed a deep fondness for good panini. It was a wedding gift and we use it quite often. And I know that you can toast things and you can press them in other ways in the oven, in a skillet. It's not the same. I want the nice grill lines. I want the pressed sandwich. And we are in a condo now and we don't have a grill anymore. So it actually can open all the way up and you can grill stuff on it. So we've used it even more since moving here. We use it to do hot dogs and vegetables, stuff like that. Okay. This is where I keep my baking pan. So we have 3. I have a round pan for pizzas and stuff, and a medium and a large of the rectangle baking sheets. Okay, above the microwave, I might have to get a stool for this. Let me see. No, I think I can. I'm very short. Okay, so over here we have cookbooks. I really only use the top one. I'm challenging myself this year to use the other 2 or I have to let them go. They have good recipes in them. I'm just a creature of habit, and I use my cookbook, which is the top one, and Pinterest. So that's what's over there. Over here we have a liqueur and a shaker. Okay, now coming to the left of the microwave, this is where we keep all of our like dishes and stuff. And cups. Again, some things are in the dishwasher. Plates and bowls, we have 2 sets for each person in our house. We're a family of 4, and so we have 8 plates, and then we have 8 bowls. I find because we have a dishwasher, that works out. I don't always have to wash dishes like throughout the day. If we eat something for breakfast that needs a plate, I usually just have to hand wash a few plates before dinner, but I find it's not a big deal. If we did not have a dishwasher, I probably would honestly go down to 1 set per person, just to force me to like maintain it and not let them pile up on the counter. And then over here we also have some cups. So I have 2, I only have like 6 designated cups. We also have mason jars that we kind of use sometimes, especially if we have guests and we need more. These are my kids' cups. So my son's has a rubber band on it to tell them apart. And these actually live on our table so they can fill up their water themselves. And then back here we have a little set of mini bowls that we use for anything from condiments to like chopped up vegetables, like when you make tacos and you cut up a bunch of tomatoes and onions, like stuff like that. These are lids for the mason jars. There's a lid for a small mason jar and a lid for a wide mouth to turn it into like a normal cup. And then, you know, good old toothpicks. And then up here are some extra kids cups. Those are their lunch boxes up there. They each have a bento box. And then these are extra water containers. So we have 2 extra water bottles. The middle one is our sea-rolled cup, and then those right there are just some lids for cups that are out. We each have 1. I'll just show it to you here. That's my cup. That's my husband's cup. The lid to his is up on top there. Those kind of live on the counter. Okay, over here on the counter, we have my lovely lamp. I love the more ambient lighting, especially at night in the kitchen. I usually prefer this to the overhead lighting. And I like that it's pink. I've been trying to add color into my life. This is another thing that was influenced by my time working at the sandwich shop. I had never seen like a knife block before working there, and I loved this. So we got this at our wedding as well. Not a knife block, a magnetic knife strip. So these are the knives we have. We have 2 large knives, a serrated one and a straight one. This knife we use for all kinds of little like chopping things, cutting up like sandwiches, pizzas, hard cheeses, stuff like that. And then these are steak knives. We do have 1 more floating around somewhere. I love a nice set of steak knives. This is like a mismatched, I don't know where he got these, but maybe Goodwill or something. Moving down here, this drawer is all of our like kitchen, what do you call these? Like utensils. So we've got measuring cups and spoons. This is our knife sharpener, can opener, a pair of kitchen scissors, a whisk, a spatula. I do have 1 more little spatula, a metal spatula, very useful, a peeler, a pizza cutter, 2 serving spoons. I have a regular one and a slotted one. This is it's hard to see. It's a cake tester. Back here is a basting brush that the handle broke off of, but it still works. I just hold it like this and I don't need a new one. It's fine. And then this is a meat thermometer. That's our utensil drawer. Over here is silverware. You know, forks and knives and such. We do have some for my son. Oh, look. He puts the silverware away now and he puts them in the wrong places. Back here, we have our beloved grape cutter. We use it for grapes, tomatoes, like cherry tomatoes, olives. It's honestly a great kid gadget. I hate cutting all those little round things, and I think that was well worth buying. And then this is a little kid's knife. It's stained. So that they can cut their own things. Okay, down here in these cabinets, we have bakeware and also some like cooking stuff. On the bottom left, I have a little set of mixing bowls, and they have lids that go with them. This top thing is a steamer basket that you can just put in a normal pot to steam vegetables. And then I have 2 cake pans and 2 pie plates. And then over here, this is my strainer. Its handle broke off. And it's another item that we're just using for now. I would like to get another one because this was one that had a long handle so you could balance it over the sink and strain things even if there's like stuff in your sink without it having to like sit in the bottom. So I do miss that feature of it. So I am kind of keeping an eye out for one that is similar to this with a handle that is not broken off. It's also kind of sharp where the metal like bent, so we have to be careful with it. But for now, it's fine, it's fine. I have 2 glass of the like square glass baking dishes, and I have 1 9x13. Up here is a little basket that has my cheese grater. It has a squeeze bottle. It has a funnel. And then that is a toothbrush for cleaning the silks off of corn. Over here is baking stuff. This is the most underused spot in my whole kitchen. And I am currently experimenting with this to see what I want to hold on to and what I want to let go of. But we do use it. We just don't use most of these things very frequently. So I have a regular muffin tin and a mini muffin tin. Oh, sorry, noisy. Then I have a bread pan. Underneath that is it's hard to see. It's so dark in here. This is a glass 8x11 baking dish. And this is the thing that is most likely on the chopping block to go because I have the other glass baking dishes that I use very frequently. And then this is just a metal cake pan, which I will hang on to because sometimes you just need a metal pan for certain things. And then this is my cooling rack. I have 1 cooling rack. And that is this cabinet. Yeah, this is the hardest area for me because I know like some people have 1 mixing bowl, but I'm like, we just use ours a lot. Sometimes I have things floating around in multiple bowls for like a meal because I just enjoy cooking, and I haven't gotten to a point where I'm willing to simplify our meals so much that I'm not using these items in my kitchen. And I don't know if I ever will. I'm definitely a foodie. I love variety in my food. I love different flavors. I've simplified our kitchen in a lot of ways, and I have even simplified our meals in a lot of ways, but not enough to allow me to get rid of some of these things yet. So, which is fine. I don't feel like I have to just because of like minimalism. It functions and it works for us and we all like it. Okay. Oh, I forgot to mention this up here is my meal plan thing and our shopping list, and then extra magnets. This is a pin that I wrapped a paper clip around so that I could stick it to a magnet and have it be right there. Got some kids' artwork, and up on top of the fridge is a flashlight. Why is it there? I don't really know, but that's just where it's always been, and I haven't really thought about moving it until this very moment. So I'll show you in my fridge. It's clean because I really need to go to the grocery store. There's not that much in it. We've got leftovers, milk and water, fruits in the bottom, cheese in the bottom, condiments and drinks, and extra things. Here's the freezer. There's like pizza and stuff up there. Fruits and vegetables, meat. Okay, I'm gonna have to get a stool to show you the top up here. So let me do that really quick and then I'll be right back. Stool has been gotten. Saves me so many times. All right, so top of the fridge. Oh, apparently we have glow in the dark. What is this? Necklaces up here. Good to know. I didn't even know we had these up here. Okay. That's water filters for our pitcher. These are extra containers that I probably don't need anymore. And this is Oh, some cookie cutters and popsicle molds. And then this is some serving stuff. So I have a few, what are these called? Ramekins. And then this is, I'm like standing on the top of this stool and I still can't really reach. That looks like cheese knives. Oh, for a cheese board. And then these are, I can't reach that, sorry guys. It's like little labels, like you can put little signs in front of things to tell you what it is. That is a set of serving platters, and then that little green one is like a serving platter that looks like a little leaf. Okay, we did it. All right, moving now to the other side of the kitchen. This is my kids' evening routine that I need to rewrite in Sharpie because they erased it. Okay, moving to the side, we have our sink. This is a drying rack, which I've actually been keeping under the sink because I'm testing out if we want to just be done with the drying rack. I used to have one of those ones that like laid over the top, and I liked it, but I was like, I wonder if they make a basket because stuff just falls off of it so easily. So I like that this is smaller. Stuff sits inside of it, and then also if I want to like get into the sink, I can just pick up the whole basket with everything in it and move it. So that was really nice. Here's one of our rags that is currently in use. I have like a scrub brush, dish soap, the norm. Below the sink we have, on this side there is cleaning products. I've got a cleaning caddy here, easy cleaning, and then in the back here I have mineral oil for cleaning for like wood products. That is a jar of water that I use to fill up to water my plants, to fill the like diffusers. A large vase, the green one right there is a small vase. That is a pitcher for beverages. And then you can't really see it, but next to the pitcher is a box of extra taper candles, which the taper candles live right there. And we put those on our table for meals. Then I have a few extra mason jars down there, which, you know, we use as extra Tupperware. We put fruits in them. And then over here on this side, we have a big old disposal system. Dishwasher detergent. This basket has trash bags. That is hurricane water, because we're in Florida, so it's just extra water. And then these are poop bags, not for a dog, but they are for my 2-year-old because he has really stinky diapers. That's under the sink. And then I told you there was some stuff in the dishwasher. Might as well show you that. Sorry if my dishwasher's gross. Could be worse. All right, so that's what we're looking at currently in the dishwasher, what we've kind of been using today. I'm really good at grabbing stuff while looking at the camera. I keep like missing it. Okay, moving up top here, we have a paper towel dispenser, folder, whatever that is, our coffee maker, and then a little spoon and spoon rest for making my coffee. And then this drawer right below it is half like beverage items and then half junk drawer. It's not really a junk drawer because everything in it has like is meant to be here. Keep all of our tea here. This is a cinnamon sugar shaker. Straws are here. Coffee filters are here. I do have 2 different coffee filters because I have 2 different methods of making coffee. Not very minimalist of me, I know. Back here I have coffee stirrers. Back here we have more drink stuff. There's a jigger, a reusable cork, another spoon. These are all like drink recipes. And then a wine opener, bottle opener, whatever you call that. Okay, over here on the junk drawer side of things, we have clothespins and bread ties. This is not supposed to be back here. There are some lighters back here that we use to light our paper candles. There's batteries back there. We usually keep some batteries upstairs just to get them very quickly and easily. A lot of these items would live downstairs and we don't want to have to go up and down the stairs that often, so we just decided to utilize this space to hold some of it to make it a little more convenient. So we have scissors here. We have one of each kind of screwdriver here. Super glue, a tape measure. Like I said, our tools are also downstairs, so we just have a little bit upstairs to make it doable. Sticky notes, marker, there's a Sharpie, some pens, a pencil. I'm a sticky note queen. I put sticky notes on everything. These don't say anything embarrassing, do they? No. Look, these are all like used sticky notes because I just put sticky notes on everything. I'm very forgetful. And then this is cables that we use. We charge, my husband charges his iPads for work in here, and we charge our phones out here sometimes. So we have a cable for that. And then this is our baby monitor. It lives out here as well. Okay. Below this, we have kitchen appliances. So I have my KitchenAid here, which I thought I would just want it to live on my counter, but I don't actually mind moving it up and down. I don't use it like every day or anything, so it's not that big of a deal to me to move it, but that lives under here. The toaster lives under here. Back behind the toaster, we have a mini waffle iron for my kids. They love doing waffles for breakfast. Back here in this corner is the carafe for our coffee maker, and then the box is extra filters that don't fit in the drawer. It comes with so many filters. And then these are the extra attachments for the KitchenAid. And then up on the shelf, we have our blender slash food processor. It kind of all came together, so that's what we have for that. And then this is our coffee grinder. Sometimes this lives on the counter, but if I am wanting to simplify things a little bit more, I'll put it under here. And we don't grind coffee every day anymore. It's just so loud. So a lot of times I will just grind some and I will put it in a container and use it for a few days, as you'll see in a moment. Actually right now, because we'll go up there right now. Up above this is where we have coffee and paper goods and other various items. This is the last cabinet. Over here, we have 8 coffee mugs, one in the dishwasher. Do we have more coffee cups than we do regular cups? Yes, we do. What does that say about us? You can determine that. I do like to have people over, and we do usually make coffee when we have people over. This is my travel coffee mug. My husband likes to make himself Starbucks drinks. And this is our coffee, like I said, that I ground, and then sugar. This is my coffee scale for when I make pour over. That's decaf. That back there is a little pitcher. That was my grandma's, my great-grandma's actually. And then up top there is our paper products, paper plates, paper cups. Over here on the bottom we have a few drink mixes, meds that we grab very quickly, and supplements. We don't have very many, but we do have a few. And then up here is my Chemex pour over and our kettle, which we use for coffee and tea. And then up above that is one of these short people props, which just has more paper products. I've got like napkins, forks, spoons, and knives, and straws. We use these when we pack lunches. Oh my gosh. Up top there is a step stool that we're hiding from my 2-year-old because he uses it for evil. Oh, I'll let you see my pantry. While you snoop around in my pantry, I wanted to take a quick second to dispel the myth that decanting is a minimalist practice. I think you can decant things if it brings you joy, if you really like it. I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just trying to remind people that you don't have to. I briefly tried decanting, and I found like often you empty things out into a container, it doesn't all fit, and then you have to find somewhere else to store that item. Plus it comes with more work, like you have to clean out the containers, you have to keep track of like flipping your things so you're not letting things just sit in the bottom of a container and not get used. You have to label things, like all of this extra work when a lot of these items already come in perfectly good packaging, so it's not necessary to decant things. What I will decant is anything that is a grain or sweet, so things that will attract bugs like ants or mites, like flour mites. I will decant those. So my flour, my sugars, my oats, cereal, stuff like that. But other than that, yeah, I just leave things in the packaging it came in. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing into my life. And yeah, I'll catch you next time.